Well, you know, listen. If you don't have anything to say, you blab. You just go on and 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 on.
Right.
That's what you hear.
Yeah.
When they don't have anything to hold you with, nothing to make you think about what they have to say, they talk at you, not to you. And that's what she was doing. And she was doing it, and it's not new.
No.
But everybody's hip to you all now.
Yeah.
And we are anticipating that you are not prepared. Because you keep saying you going and you preparing when you're on the trail. Well, okay.
Yeah.
We shall see.
Wow. Did you hear that? Whoopi Goldberg is outraged, and this is just the beginning, as it only gets worse from here. The tension is rising, frustration is building, and what happens next is a disaster for The View. In this explosive showdown, Karoline Leavitt didn't just hold her ground, she tore apart Whoopi's argument piece by piece, leaving The View's panel in complete meltdown mode. The frustration, the deflections, the desperate attempts to regain control, it's all on full display. And trust me, you're going to want to see this one till the end. Because it's not just Whoopi losing her cool, it's a complete destruction of everything she stands for. And the best was, she never saw it coming.
That was so good. So good. In a statement afterwards, this young lady claimed her, quote, on-air snub proves that you-know-who will not be treated fairly in the upcoming debate. Now, do you think this is going to make people doubt whether CNN can stay objective, or is this more the same of, it's all, everybody's against me, it's all rigged, 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 I tell you? Is everything rigged?
No, it's their MO. That's what they do. Rachel Maddow said last week, she's like, if the election is lost, it was rigged. If there's a debate, then the moderators are probably biased and they're prejudiced against me. This is how they tee up even things they end up doing well at. They say, I'm gonna lose just in case. Like, this is problem just in case. But the second part is being in live TV for so long and working on it, you can't take an interview whichever direction you want. When you have guests on air, and it doesn't always have to be as heated, it could be completely irrelevant, and you'll see producers going, wrap it up, like, you're here for a topic. She was brought on to discuss debate prep for the presidential debates on Thursday. When you start to veer into other things, anyone's going to get cut off. That's just how it works.
No, and kudos to Casey Hunt, and who's a friend and colleague of Anna and mine at CNN, for getting it back on the rails. But to me, it underscored a stunning lack of message discipline. You're a campaign spokesperson. You should be there to talk about what's Donald Trump's proactive agenda for the American people. How does he want to build the middle class or secure the border? But she can't. It's grievance, it's rage, it's retribution. It's the same thing that he suffers from. And honestly, this may be hard for us to believe. There are undecided voters who watch CNN. These are people who are going to determine this election. You're not winning any of them over by going after one of their most popular anchors repeatedly and not focusing on what matters to the American people. But kind of as Sarah alludes to, I think that they're setting the stage for, if the debate goes poorly, to say it was rigged, these moderators were against us, and frankly to try to get out of the next ABC one, which I think is important that they do. But again, this is a candidate who's on the campaign trail talking about sharks, Hannibal Lecter, boats sinking. Like, there is no message discipline here, as evidenced by his spokesperson.
I always wonder what they give these women who are like spokespeople for him, because like Kellyanne Conway and this woman, they can go for so long without taking a breath. It's rather impressive. They really should be like doing synchronized swimming or something in the Olympics.
And that right there is why The View is a joke. They don't just invite conservatives for real discussion. They make sure they ambush and embarrass them while the audience cheers. This is not about debate, but definitely about domination and silencing anyone who disagrees. But Karoline isn't playing their game. She's calm, quick-witted, and ready, and in a moment, she'll turn the tables on Whoopi so completely that even her co-hosts will be left scrambling. Because when facts enter the conversation, the woke outrage machine melts down. The usual tactics of talking over, deflecting, and playing the victim won't work this time. What follows is pure destruction, and it is absolutely glorious. Keep watching. This is just the beginning.
I commit to telling the truth from this podium every single day. I commit to speaking on behalf of the President of the United States. That is my job. And I will say it's very easy to speak truth from this podium when you have a president who is implementing policies that are wildly popular with the American people, and that's exactly what this administration is doing. It's correcting the lies and the wrongs of the past 4 years, many of the lies that have been told to your faces in this very briefing room. I will not do that. But since you brought up Truth Seek, I would like to point out, while I vowed to provide the truth from this podium, we ask that all of you in this room hold yourselves to that same standard. We know for a fact there have been lies that have been pushed by many legacy media outlets in this country about this president, about his family, and we will not accept that. We will call you out when we feel that your reporting is wrong or there is misinformation about this White House. So yes, I will hold myself to the truth, and I expect everyone in this room to do the same.
Boom! Did you catch that? Whoopi thought she was setting a trap, but Karoline turned it into a public humiliation session for The View. She walked in prepared, unfazed, and completely dismantled their narrative right in front of the audience. Watching Whoopi scramble, stammer, sidestep, and force out nervous laughter is almost embarrassing. But when all you have is woke talking points instead of logic, this is what happens. You lose, and you lose big. But hold on, Whoopi isn't finished. She's about to say something so absurd, so out of touch, that it completely backfires. And this time, there's no spinning it, no covering it up, and no walking it back. This isn't just a debate anymore, it's a total meltdown, and it only gets better from here.
Yeah. I would like this young lady this is her first job, I would like her to do a little homework. Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
Yeah.
Because women were not invited to that table. Women were not invited to many tables in this nation. The reason we fought and busted our behinds to make sure that you didn't have to worry about this. And now to hear you talk about it and to hear anybody talk about the wokeness was put in place for a reason. Because black people couldn't get into colleges. Because women could not get into the colleges they wanted to go to. This is all women. Yeah. See, this is not black, Asian, this is all women. Women were not invited to this party. It was a man's world, and we busted our asses to make sure that this was a person's world. So please stop using that phrase and talking about, because you don't understand what you're saying. You're saying about yourself that, you know, hey, that's a terrible thing to be. It's not a terrible thing to be. That's why we fought. That's what we were fighting for, so that you could stand in that podium, so that Catherine Jean-Pierre could stand at that podium. So women of all kinds of colors and ilks, wherever they came from, whatever their belief system was, they had the opportunity.
Oh, come on. Whoopi really wants us to believe that. At this point, she's not even trying to make sense anymore, just throwing out buzzwords, hoping the audience blindly nods along. This is classic Hollywood delusion, playing the victim while twisting reality to fit their narrative. The facts are ignored, logic is thrown out the window, and accountability never existed. But Karoline sees right through the act and refuses to fall for the emotional bait, the manufactured outrage, or the fake moral high ground. She stays sharp, composed, and completely unshaken, exposing the hypocrisy in real time. And in this next clip, she doesn't just push back. She shreds Whoopi's argument apart piece by piece, delivering a knockout blow so brutal that even Whoopi's own co-hosts are left in shock. The tension is palpable, the panic undeniable, and the meltdown was inevitable. Watch this. This is a pure destruction.
Voters do not agree with these despicable women on The View. They are wildly out of touch with the vast majority of Americans, and frankly, they should seek immediate help, because voters are going to re-elect President Trump back to the White House very soon, because voters see these trials that are being brought forward against President Trump for what they are. They are sham show trials. They are election interference in an attempt to imprison President Trump. And the irony in all of this is that Joe Biden and the Democrats and these ladies on The View constantly constantly say President Trump is the alleged threat to democracy, when in fact they themselves are wishfully thinking that President Trump will be imprisoned when he has not been convicted of any crimes. That is the real threat to democracy. Voters see that, and that's why President Trump continues his dominance in the polls, not just with Republicans and independents, but he's also picking up historic gains with Democrat constituencies such as African Americans, Hispanic Americans, and union workers.
That was brutal. Whoopi Goldberg just got hit with pure, undeniable facts, and she had nothing left to say. No witty comeback, no deflection, just awkward silence, frustration, and visible discomfort. And when that happens, The View does what they always do: talk over the guest, cut them off, and pretend they won. It's the same tired strategy, but the audience noticed, and so did the entire internet. Every attempt to spin the situation and regain control is crumbling right before their eyes. At this point, it's not just embarrassing, it's desperate. They weren't expecting a guest who could fight back with facts and confidence, and now their entire narrative is falling apart in real time, leaving them completely exposed.
I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though. It's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous Trump administration.
What everyone's saying, this is the first time that she's been
she may be, but my point is that job would not maybe have been open to her.
No, I understand. I just wanted
us.
to clarify that.
Yeah.
And this, folks, is why legacy media is dying. They don't want real debates. They want echo chambers where they can attack conservatives without pushback. But Karoline Leavitt? She walked into their lion's den and exposed them for the frauds they are. And if The View thought this would make her back down, they just made a huge mistake. What do you think? Did Karoline destroy Whoopi, or did Whoopi actually have a point? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe for more unfiltered takes. Goodbye, and see you on the next one.